Worried her daughter would never find a husband, her mother gave her 2 taels of silver to buy a live-in son-in-law at the market, but she passed on the strong, handsome scholar and chose a half-dead, sickly stranger for just 10 coins, because she could see at a glance that the scholar was a heartless wolf who would eventually get her killed. In her first life, she had admired the scholar's proud spirit, spent every coin she had to buy him, and scraped by with her mother supporting him all the way to the top imperial exam. The moment he passed, he married the neighbor's daughter, claiming she had given him emotional encouragement while the girl had only ever humiliated him with money. To bury his shameful origins, the ungrateful scholar had her silenced for good. Heaven gave her another chance and she was reborn to that very day at the market. The trader pitched the scholar enthusiastically 2 taels of silver for a first-rate man, and she walked straight past him and bought the sickly stranger for 10 coins. This time, she wanted to see how far the scholar would get without her. She carried the unconscious man home and found his injuries were only superficial. He just needed rest. The neighbors were envious, saying she had found a bargain while the neighbor's daughter had wasted 2 full taels on a scholar who was all looks and no use. She hadn't expected the neighbor to buy him, but it suited her fine. At least now he could be with his precious neighbor girl without her involvement. The neighbor girl came over immediately to gloat, and she simply warned her that the hard days were still ahead. Under her care, the man recovered quickly. He turned out to be the young heir of a medicine hall whose parents had been falsely accused and killed, leaving him to fall into the hands of slave traders. Her kindness had given him a reason to live again. Meanwhile, the scholar was having a miserable time. In her first life, she had shielded him from all chores so he could focus on studying, but now the neighbor worked him like livestock, barely feeding him while piling on heavy farm labor. Half a month later, the man had fully recovered and looked so striking that the neighbors kicked themselves for not spending 10 coins when they had the chance. The 2 of them headed up the mountain to gather herbs when a wild boar suddenly charged from behind. She shoved the man out of the way without thinking, and the enraged boar turned on her instead. Cornered and desperate, she spotted the neighbor girl's brother up the slope reciting poetry with the scholar, and without hesitation she led the boar straight toward them. The brother shoved the scholar forward as a decoy to save himself, and the scholar took the full impact and went flying. Just as the boar was about to charge again, the man let out a sharp shout to draw it toward him, and the moment it lunged, he drove his blade clean through its belly.